at Bramall Lane is nowhere close to being the number one at Old Trafford. And when you look at what De Gea did for about 5 years, he was absolutely unbelievable. I can only equate his form to an Iker Casillas at Real Madrid. And many people think, oh, Real Madrid. But for quite a while, Real Madrid had no quality defender in front of him. And time again, he win games for them, win trophies for them. David De Gea, for about 5 years, every season, won at least 20 points for Manchester United. When you have a goalkeeper like that, you have to keep him, and probably, the coach leaving affected him psychologically, but he seemed to be getting back into it. And I know the rumbling that was going on around him with regards to his fiance, that seems to be settled. So hopefully going forward, he can settle. But for me, he's still probably the best goalkeeper in the league. I just think that he just needs to, settle, get back that focus, and try to put behind losing his long-term coach behind him. I still believe that we perhaps need a central defender.
All right.
In terms of leadership, Harry Maguire has done very well. But in defensively, though, we're still conceding silly goals. And when you buy
I
a
would
defender
agree.
for that amount of money, you want to see a lot more command. You want to see the defense in good positional sense, demanding of everyone around him. I don't think he has done that. In terms of personnel, I don't think Victor Lindelof has done justice to his starting
All right.
position.
That is something I just stop you quickly there. So in terms of Harry Maguire, I would say he has done that. But given the fact that you just mentioned Lindelof, I would tend to agree that sometimes he has been quite shaky. So given that boy was injured, because I strongly believe, and I'll still stay by that, is that I say give him a chance. I think that either Tuanzebe or Bai will eventually take his starting position. Granted, if we get a world class defender, if we're going to buy one, which I don't see, because granted that we may need somebody else, I would give those two the benefit of the doubt for now, given that they had injury problems. We just hope they have a clean bill of health to see what they can do. So that's why I wouldn't say defense is that big of a priority, because both Maguire and Wan-Bissaka have brought it forward leaps and bounds. And should only get better given that they'll work together now and have an understanding.
Well, one of the things I question Harry Maguire about is his positional play. He's getting caught out too often, and we know he doesn't have pace.
Right.
So his positional sense, he has to get that right. He has to be able to read the game and try to sense that danger from early, and then try to neutralize that threat. So I just think that his positional play as well as his awareness needs to improve. Um, I know he has been exposed quite a lot, but still, I expect a lot more from him so far on the pitch. I think Wan-Bissaka, no one can doubt how good he has been, but I just still believe that we need, in my opinion, a Kalidou Koulibaly. Um, I was rooting for that signing ahead of Harry Maguire.
Likewise.
Koulibaly has been so consistent for
Likewise.
4 or 5 years, playing at an extremely ridiculously high level for a very long time. I'm not sure why he hasn't gotten the recognition he deserves, but we know Daniel Levy and their chief executive are really hard not to crack. So I think his name is De Laurentiis. Yes,
Oh my God.
they're really hard not to crack. They are gonna hold hard on their valuable assets. So
Which is why I think he hasn't moved, because they won't budge.
yeah, but I mean, if you see players, you see Harry Maguire going for 80 million, why wouldn't you demand 100 million for Koulibaly?
I mean,
So I mean, that's just how it is. Luke Shaw, I've always, I've always, backed him because I know the ability is there. But I always question one, his hunger and his desire, and he responded well to Van Gaal when Van Gaal criticized his fitness.
Right.
But then he got that horrible injury, his leg broke in two different places. And I think psychologically he probably wasn't really in the game, because when you get an injury like that, it weighs on your mind and also your body. So I think this year, given that his position was under threat from Brandon Williams, he
That
has
stepped up.
stepped up and looked really, really good. And also the plus side to that is that he's been doing a fantastic job in a back three.
Exactly.
So you now have a player who can be used in two roles, and it is really fantastic because I think defensively he has improved massively. And he's another player who has also improved under Solskjaer and has also shown consistency.
Correct.
It's not just improvement, but consistency in terms of putting a run of games together where he's absolutely brilliant. I think you choose the right player, central midfield. Dennis Zakaria, based on what he has done for the past 2 years, is perfectly suited for this team. He has a good physical presence, very, very mobile, good in a tackle. The timing of his challenges are brilliant. He reads the game well. Plus, on the ball, very comfortable, good passing range, can work his way out of problems. Somehow like a Matic, but he has a passing range.
Has everything.
An extra touch. And I think that is what's been missing. And we have been spoiled as well, Steve, with a Michael Carrick.
True.
Now we appreciate Michael Carrick taking the ball from his central defenders and spraying it into our Wayne Rooney, spraying it into a wide position. And also Paul Scholes. So I think we need that kind of a player. And if you look on all the top teams around Europe and around the world, look at Juventus. They have a Pjanic. Manchester City. They have Fernandinho. They also have Kevin De Bruyne. Liverpool, they have a Fabinho. So almost every team, Barcelona, we know how good Barcelona is. Sergio Busquets is the past master. So all those teams have players who are able to take the ball up 2-3 touches and they find somebody in the final third. We have been missing that since Michael Carrick retired. So I think a Dennis Zakaria definitely will solve that. I'm not so sold on Ruben Neves because I truly believe that when he doesn't have the ball, he doesn't do much. He doesn't cover the ground really well. He's not known for making challenges. So, and when you play for Manchester United, in that central defensive midfield role, anticipation, awareness, you have to know everything that's going on around you. You have to get your positioning right. I don't think Ruben Neves is suited for that role. Wilfred Ndidi, probably, but I also think that he's another one of those players who likes to have the ball. I think he's quite perfect for Brendan Rodgers because Rodgers loves when his players take a lot of touches off the ball. When you play for Man United, sometimes all he needs is 1 or 2 touches. I don't think he has that in his game just yet. He may develop it, but not yet. So, of that 3, I would definitely go with Zakaria. I know there was talk earlier of a Declan Rice. I don't think he is ready just yet. I think probably needs a season or 2 at West Ham, playing consistent.
Granted, I wouldn't even still go for Declan Rice because another player I mentioned was Eduardo Camavinga, the 17-year-old from Rennes.
Yes.
And if you look at that kid, he's a metronome for that team. He literally does everything. The only thing you would say is against him is experience, and he's getting that game by game. So if I was going for somebody of a younger variety, I would probably lean more towards somebody like him than say a Declan Rice, who I'm not sure what his ceiling is compared to somebody like that.
Right. That's true. And I mean, when you look at Camavinga, he's so calm.
Exactly.
He's so composed. And he reminds me of the Real Madrid's Mesut Ozil, where he doesn't get flustered with players closing him down. He knows he has possession, he's comfortable, and he's going to do whatever he wants to do on his own timing. But I also think, again, that the French League to the Premier League and Old Trafford is a massive step.
True.
I actually believe that if he's going to leave Rennes, he should go to a Borussia Dortmund, a Borussia Mönchengladbach, where they will give him time to get himself grounded, get himself fitting in the environment and stuff like that. But coming to Old Trafford, the expectation is gonna be really big on his shoulders. And let's not forget a Memphis Depay who came in massive ego, massive talent, but then you have one bad game and you decide you're gonna go to the grocery store, driving your Lamborghini, and then next morning you're in all the papers. So I'm not sure mentally how ready he is just yet. So I still believe that Kamavinga needs more time to really groom and get himself up to speed, much like a Haaland. I didn't want Haaland to come to Old Trafford. I wanted him to go to another club, and I think Borussia Dortmund is perfect for him. You look at Lucas Barrios, you look at Kagawa, look at Lewandowski, look at now Marco Reus. So they have, this consistent run of producing quality young players, turning them into world-class talent. So I think that he has gone to the perfect environment where he will play and they will give him time. So for now, I really believe that to fit in this moment, and also Zachary is just 23, 24. So he's
23.
also on the young side. So,
Yeah, man.
so coming in, ready made, can slot in right away and stake a claim for a starting position. I definitely go with him. Jadon Sancho is a no-brainer. What I do know is that my sources are saying that United have been speaking to his representative since I think the end of November. They've been in constant contact. The problem though is that Borussia Dortmund is not going to budge on the asking fee, which is I think 110 million euros. That's
Yeah,
about 100 million pounds.
you're right.
Is United willing to pay that? I don't know. Is he worth the money in this market today? Absolutely. But then again, you look at it. Is he really gonna go to the other side of Manchester? So but I know he's close to Marcus Rashford. He also is quite close to Jesse Lingard. So definitely in terms of support and coming into an environment where you can feel at home right away, certainly at Old Trafford. All the signs are there that he wants to be at Old Trafford. But again, Dortmund, it's not hard dealing with Hans-Joachim Watzke. He's also another hard nose. And he's made it clear that we're not going to sell Sancho for anything less than its value. He make it clear that he doesn't care about the COVID-19 outbreak. He doesn't care about clubs losing revenue. Jadon Sancho is worth 100 million pounds. So if you want to speak about Jadon Sancho, you have to come up with 100 million pounds. Personally, as a number 9, I'd probably go with Timo Werner. Reason being, he's a winger forward. Those are the kind of players Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants. And the fact that he can play anywhere across the front three gives Solskjaer another weapon to use somewhere else.
So why I wouldn't go with a team of Werner. No, is the fact that looking at the development that I am seeing from Mason Greenwood, right?
Right.
I feel that he is of that perfect mold. Left foot, right foot. If you want to play him right, if you want to play him left, straight through the middle. Granted, I think that his best position is going to be straight through the middle. But given that sometimes you might want something different, is why I said you would go for a different profile of striker. So Timo Werner is pretty similar to Martial in that way, where he is a winger forward, as you're saying. So that's the only reason I would think you would probably go for somebody more of a different ilk. So like Igalo, for instance, who I said would be probably the number one choice now, given that he won't cost that much. And it will allow us to spend money in different places. So if we would have had, say, 30 million more to spend on a forward, we have that to push to somewhere else. So Igalo now, he's not only a target man where he can hold up the ball, he's quite skilled, as you can see. He can move the ball, he can play a pass, he can do all of that. If you look at his goal in the Europa League the other day before he was shut down as well, 3 good touches, bang, top corner. So he has all of that in his locker, and he is 30. So it kind of moves away from what we're doing now. But given the fact that I see Mason coming to the fore, I wouldn't go a Timo Werner. That's just me, though.
Well, what I am looking at is really, if you want to improve your team, you have to bring in somebody who is able to command a starting spot right away. And I believe that with a Timo Werner coming in, it is going to force Martial, it's going to force a Rashford to lift their game. I believe that when you have good, healthy competition for places, it forces players to really improve their style. And it gives Solskjaer options, Can he play all three? Or they want to play two, bring somebody off the bench? You want to have, that ace or that X factor up your sleeve where you can always bring on, a very good talent off the bench. I still think Mason Greenwood should be coming off the bench. And probably also, if you want to fast track his development, you could send him out on loan somewhere else. Send him to Germany, send him to Portugal. But it seems as if Solskjaer wants to keep him. I still think coming off the bench is the most ideal for him, where we can, just continue to learn his trade, can start probably in, FA Cup, League Cup, a one Premier League here and there, just to give him a bit of taste of things from the start. But if you want to push for the title next season, a Timo Werner who is basically guaranteed 20 goals for the season, I think that he is the ideal person.
Yeah, man, I get that. So, I'm just looking at it from a holistic development kind of point of view. So, I would agree, Timo Werner would guarantee your goals. I mean, if you look at this season, he's pretty much guaranteed a goal a game this season in the Bundesliga. So, he will bring that X factor there. So, it is pretty much I guess where I say now, two sides of the same coin, given that I just feel, to me though, if you look at Martial's development as well, most persons were saying you wouldn't be able to hold up the ball or whatever, but if you look at it, and there's the data that you can check on, that he pretty much is doing similar things to what a Firmino would do, but he's scoring more goals. He has 16 goals, and remember, he missed 10 games. So guaranteeing those games, I'm sure he would have scored maybe even 3 more goals, so that would have been 19 for the season already. So it is pretty much a catch-22 if you ask me. Given that you're right, healthy competition always push players forward. I mean, at one point at United, we had 4 forwards fighting for 2 spots or 1 spot sometimes. So, I mean, I do agree with that.
Rooney, Ronaldo, Tevez, Berbatov.
Exactly. So when you think about it, it's ridiculous. And no, I'm not so sure yet where his headspace in. That is Solskjaer, whether he's looking at that, because I'm thinking maybe that same Holland that you're talking about, maybe that is his ideal forward that he wants, and he'll just maybe wait like a year or 2, and then he say, all right, let's pay the release clause, or give him that. I'm sure Borussia Dortmund are not going to let him go already. They just got him there. So maybe in 2 years' time or whatever, he might go back for it, because he looks like the type of forward that Solskjaer likes. Now, given that we got that transfer bit out of the way, quick